Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudeva Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vāmana Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Keshava Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Mahābhagavat Śrīla Goraksharas Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishta Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dasha Gunath Shara Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namachay Shri Hairas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshandala Mandala Brajamandala Thura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Shri Vas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Shri Vas Panditer Tirubhav Titi Ki Jai. Shri Malini Devi Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Dandavat Pranams. So I'm going to read a couple classes, one very short thing from Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Bharatī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and one class by my Śrīla Gurudeva, Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And then afterwards, we can sing some kirtans for Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura. So I think I'll begin with Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Bharatī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's kathā, since it's so short. My Gurudev's one is a bit longer. So. Śrīvāsa Pandit. So the following is an excerpt of a Bhav Anuvad of the kathā given by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Bharatī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on September 5th, 2009. Rising above duality. Those who are not attached to the material world do not get disturbed. One night, while Mahaprabhu was dancing in kirtan at Śrīvāsa Pandit's house, Śrīvāsa's son died. But he did not feel any sorrow. Instead, he just wanted to ensure that this would not disturb the dancing of the Lord. So Śrīvāsa Pandit warned his wife and other family members not to cause any commotion by crying aloud, and requested the other devotees not to inform Mahaprabhu about the death of his son. Mahaprabhu perceived it in his heart, yet, to teach the people of this world from this incident, he said, "Today I am not feeling the same bliss in kirtan. What has happened? Has any sad event taken place here?" Shiva said, "What possible unhappiness could there be in that person's house where your divinely blissful countenance is seen?" Continence, right? Anyways. "My Lord, you are yourself all auspicious. Where you are present, no sorrow can be found anywhere." The other devotee said, "Prabhu, Śrīvāsa's son has left his body." Mahaprabhu asked, "Why did nobody inform me?" They replied, "Since this news would have been an obstacle in your kirtan, Panditji forbade us from telling you." Then Mahaprabhu became teary-eyed and said, Śrīvāsa has so much love for me, he didn't even feel lamentation at the death of his son. How can I abandon his association? He thought, I was planning to leave all my devotees and take sannyas. How can I do this now? Then Mahaprabhu went near Śrīvāsa Pandit's son's body and touched it, and he asked, "Why have you gone away and left Śrīvāsa's house?" The boy then spoke, "Prabhu, this is an act of your providence. By great fortune, I was in a devotee's house, and I got a chance to hear kathā and kirtan. But due to my destiny, I have to leave now. This is what has been sanctioned by you." The boy was not at all sad. He was nonchalant. He just left. When you travel in a train, you may have a great time with co-passengers in the train. But when their station comes, some of the co-passengers may get down. Do they cry? No. They know that they have to leave, even though they are enjoying your company. So we also know that we have to leave this world sometime or the other. Then what is the sorrow or fear in this? There should be no fear. And there's a song by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Kôri about this pastime. It's 12 songs. Or is it 13 songs? I think it's 13 songs, all about this pastime. It's very beautiful. It's in the Gita-mala. Okay, so now we will read this class by my Śrīla Gurudeva. This was given July 8th, 1999 in Turnbridge, England. Srimad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. So just 4 days from now, that's when this class was given. Let me just check the connection and everything is okay. It looks like it. Alright, if anything, if the connection cuts out, if you send me a WhatsApp message, I can try to do something about it. This class is a bit long, so let's see. I'm going to read a little fast. First of all, I want to give my heartily blessings to Gopi Vallabha Prabhu, Chitra, Vishaka, Madan Mohan Prabhu, and all those who are making this very beautiful arrangement for Hari Katha, with a very big pandal and facilities for all the devotees. There may be some lacking here, but I think that you do not care about that. We have not come here for facilities. We have come to hear Hari Katha, the pastimes of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and their associates. There may be some lacking, as there is in our Navadvip Prema, where there are more than 20,000 pilgrims, gather, and where you can see only an ocean of heads. There may be so many things lacking there, so many pilgrims being hosted under trees, even without trees, here and there, with no attached bathrooms, but only international bathrooms. But you can take bath in the sweet Ganges there. Thousands upon thousands of pilgrims go to take bath in the Ganges, and they never complain about anything, even regarding whether or not they had taken any prasadam. Sometimes there is even no prasadam, although usually there is plenty. Sometimes there is only khichdi, which is very beautiful and tasteful, and sometimes even sweet rice. Otherwise, all were satisfied with the khichdi. So here, also there, maybe, So here, also there, oh God, sorry, I don't know why I'm having a hard time reading this. So here, also there may be some lacking in the management, but we are managing only so that the devotees may hear some Hari Katha. We have not come for recreation on the shore of an ocean, or for holidays. We have come only to hear. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja has brought me here so that you can become stronger and stronger in Krishna consciousness. Today is a very sacred day. It is the disappearance day of Śrīvāsa Pandit. In this world, a person's disappearance day is considered somewhat of a bad thing. So why do I call this a sacred day? If anyone dies in this world, there is suffering and lamentation, a feeling of separation. We are also feeling separation today, but actually, today is the day that Śrīvāsa Pandit joins the Mahārāja of Krishna, or he went from this world to Vaikuntha to eternally serve his holy master there. He is so happy today. Where did he go? Did he go to Vaikuntha, or to Ayodhya, or to Dwarka, or to Goloka Vrindavan? Where did he go? Shripad Ashramarsh. He went to Saptadvīpa in the form of Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, and because he's also Narad Muni, he also went to Vaikuntha. Then my Gurudev asks again, where did he go? Shripad Madhav Maharaj. Was he Madhav Maharaj at this time? I guess so. He probably just became a sannyasi. Oh, but Ashramarsh, was Ashramarsh get sannyas in 99? I guess so. So Madhav Maharaj, he is always in Saptadvīpa serving Mahaprabhu, and always in Vaikuntha in the form of Narad Muni. In the form of Madhu Mangal, he is serving as a cowherd friend of Krishna and joking with him in Goloka Vrindavan. Wherever Krishna's pastimes and Mahaprabhu's pastimes are going on, in this planet and so many other planets, Narad is also there. Śrīla Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I'm just going to say Śrīla Gurudeva. Narad Rishi has so many forms. As his worshipful deity Krishna has so many forms everywhere, with so many manifestations, and Narad Rishi does as well. He is everywhere, in this world, in Vaikuntha, in Dwarka, in Saptadvīpa, everywhere. In the form of Madhu Mangal, he is serving Krishna in Sakiras, and he may serve Srimati Radhika as Naradi Saki. Śrīvāsa Pandit is the same as Narad. As Śrīvāsa Pandit, Narad Rishi serves Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Śrīvāsa Pandit's wife is Malini Devi, who used to serve Nityananda Prabhu like a very little baby. Sometimes Nityananda Prabhu, quite naked, would sit on the lap of Malini Devi and drink her breast milk. At that time, he was about 25 or 30 years of age, but in relation to Malini Devi, he always thought of himself as Baladev, as a little baby. Once, when Malini Devi was weeping, Nityananda Prabhu came to her and asked, "Mother, why are you weeping?" She replied, "I had a silver cup full of ghee. A crow came and took it and flew away." Nityananda Prabhu called out, "Oh crow, come on, return that silver cup." After a short time, the crow returned the cup. Mahaprabhu once told Śrīvāsa Pandit, "Tomorrow is Vyas Puja. I know you are poor, but Vyas Puja will be at your home, so try to make all the arrangements for Vyas Puja." Śrīvāsa replied, "No problem. By your mercy, everything is available at my house. All the necessary items such as cloth, rose water, fragrant flowers, sacred thread, upanayan, ghee, betel nuts, and pan leaves are there in my house. I also have the book that describes how to do Vyas Puja. With great fortune, I will celebrate Vyas Puja tomorrow." What is the importance of Vyas Puja? It is the backbone of all devotees. It is the birthday of Srila Vyasadeva, of whom all gurus are manifestations. All knowledge comes from Vyasadeva, all transcendental knowledge. There was still something lacking after he wrote most of the Vedas, but Narad completed that by inspiring him to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva divided the Vedas, manifested the Upanishads and so many Puranas, and even Mahabharata, in which Krishna told Bhagavad Gita. He manifested all kinds of required knowledge, but still he was not happy. His spiritual master Narad came and told him what was still lacking in his literary works. Vyas had not told very clearly that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He had not clearly written that Krishna was controlled by the gopis. He had not written that Mother Yashoda tied Krishna to a grinding mortar, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One day she refused to take baby Krishna in her lap, saying, "Oh, you are a naughty boy, always stealing butter and yogurt from the neighboring gopis." Hearing this, Krishna cried bitterly, Narad told him that this was lacking, and that is why he was not happy. Following Narad's instructions, Vyasadeva then meditated in trance and took shelter of bhakti. What is the meaning of bhakti? It means total surrender to Gurudev. We usually surrender to Gurudev only by words, not by action, not by pure heart, and therefore we may change our views about him. Sometimes we may even change gurus, just like a man divorces a lady, and you may do so 20 times. Shukadeva Goswami never changed his guru, Rupa Goswami never changed, and Raghunath Das Goswami never changed. Every guru in our disciplic line is always in this line of Vyas. Vyas followed his Gurudev, and thus he saw all the pastimes of Krishna, from boyhood to the end in Dwarka in his trance. His teachings were completed by this. So the meaning of Vyas Puja is to follow Gurudev as Vyasadeva followed his Gurudev, Narad. But the Guru must be like Narad, not like a Kali Yuga Guru, a fallen Guru who has no knowledge or realization of the teachings of Shastras. A Guru must be like Vyas, expert in all Shastras. Such a Guru can remove all doubts of his disciples. If one cannot remove his own doubts, how can he remove others' doubts? If a Guru says, "I can remove all your problems, but you should help by getting some money for me," he is not really a Guru. He is dependent on his disciples. He is not Guru. A real Guru will clear all your doubts. He will keep Krishna in your hearts forever. Diksha means Vijñāna, transcendental knowledge, will manifest in your heart, and then Ksha, all kinds of problems, sufferings, and sorrows will disappear at once, just as all darkness disappears on the arrival of the sun. The service of such a Guru is the backbone of a disciple. So Mahaprabhu ordered Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, you should observe Vyas Puja here. Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura replied, "Though I am poor, by your mercy everything is in my house, and tomorrow we will do it." The next morning, all assembled there. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not there. Nityananda Prabhu was there, and he was also waiting for Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu finally arrived, Śrīvāsa Pandit complained against Nityananda. "I requested Shripad, Nityananda Prabhu, to perform Vyas Puja. The lotus feet of Krishna are called Shripad. I said, Shripad, begin Vyas Puja. But he simply made the sounds, ha, like a crazy person. Mahaprabhu then requested, Shripad, why are you not beginning the Vyas Puja? You should do it. Nityananda became happy. He stood up, took a garland, and placed it around the neck of Mahaprabhu. Śrīvāsa Pandit had been requesting Nityananda to put the garland on the neck of Vyasadeva, who is represented by a picture, as Srila Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja's picture is here. He was also represented by a kalash, a pot, that held within it a coconut and mango leaves, and that had painted on it a sacred swastika. In order to invoke the presence of Srila Vyasadeva during the archan process wherein he should be worshipped, mantras would be uttered before it, like Swagatam, 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 welcome, welcome. Śrīvāsa Pandit had been telling Nityananda, give this garland to Vyasadeva, but Nityananda was only mumbling, hoo, ha, I don't know, waiting for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, Nityananda Prabhu wanted to show that Krishna himself is Jagat Guru. Although he is the real Guru, husband, beloved, and son of all, every soul has their specific individual relationship with him. He placed the garland on the neck of Mahaprabhu. Everyone present became so happy, and kirtan began. Vyas Puja means to take an account of how much of our heart we have given to our Gurudev, and to measure our bhakti, to see whether we are advancing in bhakti or reducing. As a businessman checks daily or weekly their gains and losses by reviewing their activities and their results, Vyas Puja is the day the disciple makes a cash book and ledger. Are you in gain or in loss? If you are not taking this gain-loss account on the day of Vyas Puja, It means you have no respect for your Gurudev. You have no belief in him, no belief in Krishna, and no bhakti. You are a show-bottle devotee. This Vyas Puja ceremony was performed in Śrīvāsa Pandit's house. Do you know how strong a devotee he was? He had 4 brothers, and throughout the whole day and night, he would meet with them for kirtan. They would continually chant with their big kartals, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some of the neighbors complained about Śrīvāsa to the Muslim Qazi. They told him, he thinks that he is better than Muslims because he is a Hindu. He is a culprit. If he and the other Hindus have to sing so loudly, it must mean that their God is blind and deaf. He cannot hear well. They spend their entire nights creating disturbances. We cannot sleep. What should we do? The Qazi ordered, take his house and throw it in the Ganges. Then the other Hindus will be afraid to carry on with their disturbances. He then went with his guards to Śrīvāsa Pandit's house, where he broke the mridanga, and that place thus became known as Kol Bhanga Danga, the place where the Qazi broke the mridanga drum. He also threatened the devotees, in the future, you cannot chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You can chant Koda, God, or Allah, but not so loudly. Don't make so much noise. Don't disturb anyone. But what happened? One of those guards came to the Qazi, the Muslim governor, only chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, as though he had become mad. He wanted to speak something, but nothing was coming out except Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The Qazi asked, what happened? The guard replied, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The Qazi asked again, what happened? Tell me. He replied, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Just see how my beard has been burned. The Qazi asked, who burned it? The guard answered, I don't know who burned it, but it is burned, and now I can't say anything other than Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This strange thing happened repeatedly there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu soon heard about the Qazi's breaking the mridanga, and he told his associates, in the evening, bring torchlights in every home. I shall give protection to everyone. Let us see what kind of Qazi comes to stop our kirtan. He called all his associates for Sankirtan, after which hundreds of thousands of devotees came there. All had torches, sticks of wood with the ends wrapped in cloth dipped in kerosene oil and set ablaze. They all accompanied Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Qazi's palace, at which time the Qazi thought, oh, a rebellion, a revolution! So many are coming like dacoits, and it may be that they will kill me. Seeing this, the Qazi entered his house and locked the door. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, he said, oh, where is that Qazi? The devotees totally uprooted the Qazi's garden. Murari Das was laughing like Hanuman and jumping here and there with a desire to burn down the Qazi's house. But Mahaprabhu stopped him and said, the Qazi is like my maternal uncle, and called out, O Qazi, please come. You are my uncle. In Krishna's pastimes, the Qazi is Krishna's maternal uncle. The Qazi came and opened the door, honored Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they went inside for discussion. Mahaprabhu asked him, why do you kill cows? All Hindus consider the cow to be like mother, because she gives milk to all. She does not discriminate whether one is Hindu, Muslim, or Christian. Hindus consider the cow as their mother and the bull as a father, but you kill them and eat their flesh. Why? Can you show me where in the Quran it has been written that you should do so? The Qazi replied, I cannot show you. It has not been written that we should slaughter cows. We should respect them. Those whose breast milk you drink are like mothers, and they should be treated as such. But people all over the world take the flesh of these animals along with drinking their milk. I see here and there, especially in America, that those who slaughter cows have now become cows for slaughter. I once saw thousands of cows ready to be slaughtered. At first I became so unhappy, but at the next moment I considered, oh, they were previously humans who ate cows, and now, as a result of their actions, they have become cows. So you should not consume meat, eggs, or wine, etc. Otherwise, those animals will surely take revenge. And if they are not taking revenge, then Krishna will make you suffer. All living entities are eternal servants of God. We belong to his family, brothers, sisters, mothers, and sons. So we should not eat flesh. Thus the Qazi told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after I went to the Hindu's house, broke the drum, and forbade the performance of congregational chanting, in my dreams that very night, I saw a greatly fearful lion, like Nrsimhadev, roaring loudly. His body was like a human being's, and his face was like a lion. He jumped upon my chest and began to scratch it. Placing his nails on my chest, the lion said in a grave voice, I shall immediately bifurcate your chest as you broke the mridanga drum. I then prayed to him, save me, save me. I promise I will never do this again. He was merciful, but he left the mark of his nails on my chest. From now on, no one in my dynasty will ever kill cows, nor will they create disturbance to the kirtan party. After this incident, the Qazi's subjects all became like Hindus. All this occurred because of Śrīvāsa Pandit. The kirtan had taken place at his home. He was such a strong devotee. I am seeing that if any small problems arise for you, even very small ones, you become like crazy persons and are bewildered as to what to do and what not to do. You may even give up your mala and kanti mala. You should try to be like Śrīvāsa Pandit. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he would go to Jagannath Puri every year for the Rath Yatra festival. There, Swarup Damodar and Śrīvāsa Pandit would discuss various subjects. Do you remember this? You should explain. Shamarani Dasi. This discussion takes place in the midst of the 9-day Rath Yatra festival. 5 days after Rath Yatra starts, there is a festival called Hera Panchami. At that time, King Prataparudra arranged for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates to see a beautiful drama about Rath Yatra. In that drama, Krishna of Dwarka leaves the goddess of fortune in Dwarka, which is represented by Jagannath Puri temple, and he goes to the pathway pulled by devotees to Puri's Gundicha temple, which represents Vrindavan. Lord Jagannath, who is Krishna of Dwarka, says to Lakshmi, who represents Krishna's 16,108 queens, I'll be back after a day or two. But now it's been 5 days and he hasn't returned, so Lakshmi becomes angry. This drama is performed by male devotees dressed up as the goddess of fortune, with very, very opulent sari and ornaments, and her maidservants. The maidservants carry Lakshmi to Gundicha on an opulent palanquin, and then they grab the servants of Jagannath, tie them with silk ropes, arrest them, and force them to fall at the feet of Lakshmi. Lakshmi is thinking, why should Krishna, who has all opulence, all wealth, and all facilities in Dwarka, leave all that and join the group of cowherders in Vrindavan? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took great delight in this mock argument between Śrīvāsa Pandit and Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar is Lalita in Krishna Lila, the most intimate girlfriend of Radhika, who helps facilitate Radhika's pastimes with Krishna. He takes the side of the Rajvasis, and Śrīvāsa Pandit, who, as Śrīla Gurudeva mentioned, is actually Narad Rishi, takes the side of the residents of Dwarka. Narad Rishi's worship is in the mood of opulence. His worshipful deity is Nārāyaṇa, Dwarkadish, Ram, and Krishna in the mood of opulence. Śrīvāsa Pandit complains to Swarup Damodar on behalf of the goddess of fortune. Why are you so much favoring the gopis? They are just cowherd girls, and they simply boil milk. They are not opulent like my goddess of fortune. They just have some trees, some fruits, and some flowers. But no jewels, opulent bedding, gold, valuables, or palaces like my goddess of fortune. Then, on behalf of the Rajvasis, Swarup Damodar said, these cows are not ordinary cows. They are wish-fulfilling cows who fulfill all the desires of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. All the trees there are kalpavriksha trees, desire trees. Whereas the devotees in Dwarka may have desires for opulence, the devotees in Vrindavan have no such desires. They simply want to take the fruits and flowers from the trees and offer them to Krishna. The grass and flowers that are growing in Vrindavan are not ordinary. Even the value of Chintamani, is surpassed by these flowers. The Chintamani stones are worn as the ornaments on the feet of the gopis to attract Krishna. Even more valuable are the flowers used by the gopis to decorate themselves and thus attract Krishna, enchant Krishna, and even induce him to faint. He explains that in Vrindavan, every word is a song and every movement is just like a dance. The gopis far surpass any goddess of fortune. Millions and millions of goddesses of fortune cannot equal the natural opulence, beauty, and sweetness of any one of the gopis. In this way, he was defeating Śrīvāsa, and Śrīvāsa became so ecstatic because in actuality, he is also familiar with the glories of Vrindavan. At another time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Krishna, said to Śrīvāsa, "Give me my flute." Śrīvāsa said, "I can't, the gopis have already taken it." And he began to explain to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the beautiful pastimes of Ras Lila, honey wine drinking, and playing in the Yamuna. In this way, he too takes pleasure in hearing and speaking the pastimes of Vrindavan. Therefore, when he heard this from Sarup Damodar, he became greatly ecstatic and began dancing like a madman. Śrīla Gurudeva. Here, Śrīvāsa Pandit is like Narad Rishi, very tricky. All the devotees of Krishna, especially those in Vrindavan, must be tricky like Krishna. Narad is also tricky and a high class of devotee. He wanted to impress this Siddhanta, this true philosophy, that Krishna of Vrindavan is the supreme personality of Godhead, not Nārāyaṇa in Vaikuntha. Nārāyaṇa has all kinds of opulence, but no one is his friend or parent. He is superior to all. He receives pranam, obeisances, from everyone, and blesses everyone, saying, "Mangalam bhavatu," may all auspiciousness be upon you. It is not at all like this in Vrindavan. What will happen there? Krishna's cowherd friends, Sridham and Subal, say to him, "Oh, Shala, what are you doing? You are so naughty and mischievous." If his friends come, not Shala, oh Sala, anyways, whatever. If his friends come to his palace and see that he is still in bed, they jump on his bed and say, "The cows are waiting here and there, and you're still sleeping." Then they pull him out of bed. Sometimes Śrīvāsa defeats Krishna, who then smiles and tells him, "I have defeated you." Śrīvāsa says, "No, I have defeated you." When one is defeated, his back is flat on the ground. Here Sridham had defeated Krishna, and he was sitting on his chest, thinking, "I have defeated Krishna." But Krishna told him, "I have defeated you." Śrīvāsa asked, "How have you defeated me?" Krishna replied, "My nose is up, and your nose is down." Can anyone in Ayodhya or Vaikuntha play like this? Never. There are no friends of Narayan and no father and mother, whereas in Vrindavan, there are thousands of fathers and mothers of Krishna. Krishna became the son of all the gopis and gopas during his Brahma Mohan Lila. And he became the husband of so many young gopis and the calves of all the cows. He can play in this way. Narad has one very chaste wife, Lakshmi. Actually, there are three, Shri, Bhu, and Nila, but one is prominent, and that is Lakshmi. But she can only massage his lotus feet, keeping his feet on her breast and always offering prayers. On the other hand, here in Vrindavan, Krishna has so many consorts, and all are greater and more beautiful and sweet than Lakshmi. They can all control Krishna. They can tell him, "Oh, you should massage my feet," and Krishna will have to massage them. When the gopis are tired and perspire from dancing and singing during Ras Lila, Krishna takes his pitambar, his yellow shawl, and wipes away their perspiration. This is a very beautiful scene. It is the affection and love of Krishna. Such love manifests in Vrindavan, never anywhere else. Who will be so foolish as to not serve Krishna? Do you know Putana? She was a witch who came to kill baby Krishna by the poison on her breast. But Krishna sucked out the poison in her life and gave her a position like a mother in her next life. So who will be so foolish that, giving up Krishna, he will serve others? We must serve Krishna. By his tricky behavior, Narad Rishi inspires Krishna to display various pastimes, and somehow or other, he always manifests the glories of Krishna's devotees. We see in Brihad Bhagavatamrita how he glorified the high classes of devotees and incarnations of God. In this way, he discovered that the gopis are the best devotees, and that Vrajendra Nandan is the same worshipful deity. We should try to make Narad, Śrīvāsa Pandit and Mahaprabhu's pastimes, our guru. Do you know how strong a devotee Śrīvāsa Pandit is? One day he was doing kirtan with many devotees in his courtyard, Śrīvāsa Angan. While Mahaprabhu was dancing and singing with his associates, Śrīvāsa Pandit's only son died. All of Śrīvāsa's brothers, wives, and all the neighbors' wives were weeping while Śrīvāsa was attending the kirtan. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I am not feeling so happy. Something is going on. What is it?" No one would tell him the news because Śrīvāsa Pandit had warned all those who were surrounding the boy and weeping, "If you weep loudly and if the chanting and if the dancing and singing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's kirtan is disturbed, I will jump in the nearby Ganges." They continued weeping, but not loudly. One of the devotees approached Mahaprabhu and whispered in his ear, "Today, this boy has died, and inside they are all still weeping. The dead body is there." Mahaprabhu stopped his kirtan and asked, "Why did you not tell me this before?" He went inside and said, "Oh, my dear boy, where have you gone? You are sleeping. At once wake up." A very wonderful thing happened then. By Mahaprabhu's mercy, life at once returned in the dead body of the boy. The boy stood up and began to talk. Mahaprabhu asked, "Why have you left your father and mother here? You were okay here." The boy replied, "I was not happy here. I have so many hundreds of thousands of fathers and mothers from so many births, and from the beginning of this creation, I have seen the father or mother of so many. Who is my father? I do not recognize him. I don't want to be here. I have so many facilities now. I want to go where I have now taken birth." In this world, those who have taken birth must die. You should realize that this body is not yourself. This world is full of so many problems: birth, death, suffering, and sorrows. Babies will, after some time, become old like me, and after that, when they will become 100, they will not be able to walk. They will say with false ego, "I have become 100 years old," but they don't consider that their 100 years have passed. Young people are very energetic, going here and there, taking wine, eggs, and meat, and thinking that they will be very strong by that. They don't know that very soon they will become old. Their hair will be white, their organs will all be weak, and after some time they will not be able to walk. The government will give them retirement pension, and after that they will go to old age homes. Their children will not care about them, and after some time they will not be able to breathe properly. Overcome by coughing, they will have to die. This human body is very rare. After millions of births, you have received this body, so don't waste it. From this moment, try to become a pure devotee. Follow Krishna consciousness, always chanting and remembering Krishna under the guidance of very qualified realized Guru. Thus, come in the process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Gosvāmī, and be happy forever. This endless chain of birth and death, the reactions of your past activities, bad and good, will be finished by chanting the holy name. But it is essential to chant the name in the proper process in order that it will become the pure name. If you have any worldly desires while chanting, then your worldly desires will be fulfilled, and you will be like zero. Do you understand what I have told? Suppose you are chanting Hare Krishna, but in your heart you are thinking, some money should come, wealth should come, a very beautiful girlfriend or boyfriend should come. I should have a very beautiful, powerful car and a very beautiful royal palace. I shall always travel in a high-class airplane, newly made in France, that is faster than the speed of sound. In that case, your youth and your life will be ruined. The son of Śrīvāsa Pandit continued, "Now that I have taken birth, From the beginning of my life, I will chant and remember Krishna, so I don't want to return here. Shripad Madhav Maharaj. Mahaprabhu's pastime is going on at Śrīvāsa Pandit's house, and Śrīvāsa Pandit is an associate of Mahaprabhu. So why leave that situation? Śrīla Gurudeva. Because now he took birth in Krishna's pastimes, which is the fruit of association with Mahaprabhu and his associates. He had taken birth from the womb of a gopi, and this was the causeless mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is why he did not want to return. If that boy had gone to any other place, certainly he would have wanted to return. He was realizing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was none other than Krishna himself, and by his mercy, he had come in the womb of any gopi. Therefore, that boy refused to come back. Let us not waste our time. Let us be fully surrendered with great faith in Krishna and his name. Krishna has invested all his power, mercy, opulence, and all qualities in the name of Krishna. In fact, he has made his name even superior to himself. No one can touch Krishna by any one of the mortal senses, but Krishna has performed a miracle, which is that anyone, even a very wretched or foolish person like Jagai or Madai, can chant his name, whether or not his chanting is pure. That name will become pure by the mercy of the name, as long as the chanter is not committing any offense. If you are not committing offenses, like criticizing a Vaishnava, and you have a great regard for all, thinking, all beings are eternal servants of Krishna, and I am as well, then you can have a relationship with everyone. We should honor all. We should do pranam to all, as it has been. We should do pranam to all, as it has been told in Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Suppose someone is worshipping Krishna and taking bath in the Ganges with the understanding that this Ganges water is a tirtha, the ocean is a mahatirtha. Still, if that person is not honoring devotees, not thinking that Krishna is present in all living beings, and not regarding all beings, he is not a pure devotee. Rather, sa eva go kara. He is an animal, and among the animals, he is like a donkey. The donkey runs after his wife for sex life and gets kicked by her hind legs. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the boy's words, he said to his mother, "Do you want this boy?" She replied, "I have received my son, yourself. I am happy for that boy. Now he can go anywhere he likes." Everyone became happy. This is a wonderful pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but it was due to Śrīvāsa Pandit. If any problem comes to you, always be very strong like Śrīvāsa Pandit. There are so many things to say about him, like how he took birth in his pastimes as Narad Rishi. He was already in Goloka Vaikuntha and Vrindavan, but in the very beginning of this creation, Krishna wanted him to come here. He therefore manifested from the throat of Brahma. What is the meaning behind this? Narad is always playing a very sweet sound on his veena as he chants Hare Krishna. Narad Muni Bajai Veena Radhika Ramana Name. He is the master of all rag and ragini. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. All these sounds have come from the strings of his veena, on which he plays so many transcendental songs. From where did he learn all this? Srimati Radhika is his guru. Ultimately, all rags and raginis come from her ankle bells. He learned from Radhika's ankle bells. So he manifested in this world from the throat of Brahma and began to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Brahma told him, "O son, I want you to follow my orders. Where are you going?" Narad replied, "I want to follow my brothers, the four Kumaras, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanat." As soon as his brothers had been born from Brahma's mind, they were also always chanting Krishna's name, and they wanted to go to the forest to perform austerities. They left and never followed their father's order that they marry and beget many children to fill the world with human beings. Then Narad was born, and Brahma ordered that he also enter married life. But he also refused. Brahma repeatedly requested him to remain at home, and when he would become mature, he would marry and have many children. Although Brahma warned him, If you do not obey me, I will have to give you a curse." Narad did not obey him. He went to the forest to chant Krishna's name, at which time Brahma became very angry and said, "You will take birth in a family of Gandharvas, heavenly singers, and Kinnaras. There you will have many thousands of Apsaras, heavenly angels, and you will be dancing and singing with thousands of wives." Narad replied, "I may go there, but I will not marry." Thus Narad became a Gandharva of heaven, named Upabardhan. He was there dancing, but always remembering Krishna. One day Brahma ordered him, "I am going to Pushkar, and you should come there with your whole family. You will have to dance there as an invocation." Narad went there and began to dance naked, and in a very wrong way. And he wanted his father to be angry and give him another curse so that he would be free from that life. I've never heard this story before, oh my God. Brahma surely became angry and said, "You don't remember that I cursed you before, and you had to become a Gandharva? Now I will curse you again. You will go to the earth now and take birth from a Sudrani, a low-caste woman." Narad was then born from the womb of a Sudrani. As a young boy, he received the mercy of his brothers, who instructed him in Krishna consciousness. Soon after, he was given a mantra by them. His mother was bitten by a snake and died, and he took this as an opportunity to leave his home and go alone to the forest. He went to a very deep, dense forest and continuously chanted that mantra. After some time, he became perfect, and Nārayaṇa, his worshipful deity, gave him darshan. You have been chanting for so many years, some devotees for 15 or 16 years, and some for longer, but you are not experiencing a change in your consciousness. You are very weak, always dependent on money or some position. You are not very surrendered. For thousands upon thousands of years, you have been attached to family, wife, girlfriends, boyfriends, and you are now also chanting without the Krishna-conscious result. It may be that some worldly happiness will come by such chanting. You can become Indra, or a very wealthy person, or you can become like Bill Clinton and become attached to any office girl. You cannot control your mind, but still you are chanting Hare Krishna. Be like Narad. He was fully absorbed in his chanting, not knowing where he was or who his body belonged to. Krishna came to him in the form of Nārayaṇa, so we should try to do like him. If you are engaged in one-pointed bhajan to Krishna, quite absorbed in having faith in your gurus and Krishna's words, Krishna will surely come and give you darshan. If one knows the mantra for charming a snake and he utters that mantra, a poisoned person's snake poison will go down. Why is our chanting of Hare Krishna not giving us perfection? Krishna's name is so powerful. All powers are there. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tartarpita niyamita smarane nakala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi turdaiva medrishamiha janina anuraga. Shri Shikshashtakam verse 2. What is the meaning? Shripad Padmanabha Maharaj. Krishna has empowered his holy names with all transcendental Shakti, potencies. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Out of kindness and mercy, Krishna has allowed us to approach him through these holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attachment to these holy names. Śrīla Gurudeva. Here it is said that the holy name has no rules and regulations. We can chant it during the day or night, sitting on our bed, without taking bath or washing the mouth, in the morning, evening, daytime, at any time, such as when walking. But we should try to follow Śrīvāsa and Narad. Narad was initiated by his 4 brothers, the 4 Kumaras, and Śrīvāsa Pandit was also initiated by a high-class Vaishnava with all the symptoms written in the Vedas, Upanishads, and Bhagavatam. If at the time of initiation you have received the holy name from a pure guru, then that name will be powerful and Krishna will come to you. For example, Narad's gurus were Sanat, Sanatan, Sanak, and Sanandan. Narad's gurus, the 4 Kumaras, they gave him a mantra, after which he very easily received the darshan of Krishna. If your guru is like that, and you are following like Narad, then Shuddhanam, the powerful transcendental name, will manifest in your heart. On the other hand, if your guru is fallen, having no faith in the name and only chanting 6 rounds or 2 rounds, or sometimes not chanting at all, and after some time he also falls externally, that holy name will not be so strong. No potency will be there, and without potency, your chanting can only give you a shadow of the name. Liberation may come, or worldly wealth may come, but you will not get Krishna Prema. Try to follow all these teachings, and be very strong like Śrīvāsa Pandit, even if someone takes your whole wealth and position, and you become poor like him. One day, Śrīvāsa Pandit said to Mahaprabhu, clapping his hands, 1, 2, 3. Mahaprabhu asked, "What are you doing?" Again, Śrīvāsa Pandit said, 1, 2, 3. Mahaprabhu inquired, "Why are you doing that?" Then Śrīvāsa Pandit explains, "We are chanting and remembering Krishna throughout the day and doing nothing for our maintenance. If there is nothing to eat in my house today, then I will wait. On the second day, I will also wait. If nothing comes on the third day, no harm. But if nothing comes on the fourth day, I will jump in the Ganges. I will not do anything but chant and remember." Mahaprabhu told him, "This can never happen to a devotee like you. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, may have to beg anywhere, but not my devotees are Krishna's devotees. You must believe in this. Go on chanting. Krishna's name is more merciful than Krishna himself. Have faith in that. But that name should come from a reliable or bona fide guru. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo." Uh-oh. Did the internet connection go? Because it's asking me to log in. Uh-oh. Let me refresh my page. Oh man, my internet's really terrible. Anyhow, it looks like there's 5 people watching still. So, anyhow, I'm going to just share my screen, and we can sing this kirtan for Śrīvāsa Pandit. Did it cut out for a very long time? Oh, it was fine? Okay, good. Good. Okay, so this is a kirtan we're going to sing. Saptadvīpa Dīpta Kôri, Shobhe Navadvipa Puri, Jahe Vishwambara Devaraj. Let me get my mridanga 1 second. Okay, let me just check the sound. Yes, it is. All right. Dandavat pranams, Bhavatarani Mataji. Who is Prem Das? I don't know actually. But yeah, this song came from the Bengali Gaudiya Giti Gucha, but yeah, there's other songs by Prem Das also, but I don't know anything about him. I actually, when I went to Ishwar Puripad's place with Chudandi Maharaj, and they had all these books there with biographies of all the different authors and like all these different devotees from the time of Mahaprabhu till the present day. So I want to find out about all these different authors and translate those. But anyhow, for now I don't know anything. Illuminating the 7 islands of the world, Śrī Navadvīpa Puri shines due to the presence of that king among the gods, Śrī Vishvambar. There, in the midst of Śrī Vishvambar's bhaktas, is the renowned Śrīvāsa Pandit, whose life mission is Śrī Krishna Kirtan. All glories to Pandit Ṭhākura. By a speck of his mercy, one can become a recipient of Gaur Prema. All of his pastimes are matchless. Exclusively fixed in the seva of Gauranga, he does not know any demigod or goddess. Along with his 4 brothers, servants, and maidservants, he always performs kirtan in various ways, day and night, with Gauranga and his devotees, intoxicated by prema. His wife, Shri Malini Devi, whom Mahaprabhu calls mother, is the crown jewel of all chaste women. Nityananda Prabhu resides in their house, and she loves him as her own son. When she sees Nityananda Prabhu, milk flows from her breast and tears fall from her eyes. Sometimes, knowing Mahaprabhu to be the Supreme Lord, Śrīvāsa bows down at his lotus, but sometimes he takes him on his lap to nourish him. In order to not interrupt the ecstatic dance of Mahaprabhu, he renounced any expression of sorrow at the death of his son. Hearing this, the Lord wept. Śrīvāsa Pandit's niece, Nārāyaṇa, was the voice of the Vaishnava assembly. Her son, Shri Vrindavan Das, described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas, and thus delivered the 3 worlds. It is in him, Śrīvāsa Pandit, that Prem Das keeps his hopes and aspirations. Saptadvīpa. I'm going to just sing it because it's late. I'm just going to sing it through, not lead and response, so you can sing along with me. Saptadvīpa Dīpta Kôri Shobhe Navadvīpa Puri Jahe Vishvāmbara Deva Raj Tahe Tara Bhakta Jato Tahate Śrīvāsa Khatā Shri Krishna Kirtana Jar Ka Shri Krishna Kirtana Jar Kaja Jaya Jaya Ṭhākura Pandita Jaya Jaya Ṭhākura Pandita Jar Kripa Lesha Matra Hoya Gora Prema Patra Anupama Sakala Charita Jaya Jaya Ṭhākura Pandita Gaurange Rase Bhavine Deva Devi Nahe Chari Chari Bai Dāsa Dasi Loya Satata Kirtana Range Gora Gora Bhakta Sange Ahar Nishi Prema Mata Hoya Ahar Nishi Prema Mata Hoya Jar Bharya Shri Malini Pativrata Shiromani Jar Bharya Shri Malini Pativrata Shiromani Jar Praviko Hoye Janani Nityananda Rahe Gare Putra Sama Sneha Kore Nityananda Rahe Gare Putra Sama Sneha Kore Stana Jhare Netre Bahe Pani Stana Jhare Netre Bahe Pani Kabu Va Ishvara Gyane Nati Kore Shicharane Kabu Kole Taroye Lalana प्रभुर नृत्य भंग लागी मृत पुत्र शोक त्यागी प्रभुर नृत्य भंग लागी मृत पुत्र शोक त्यागी सुनी प्रभु को ये रोदाना सुनी प्रभु को ये रोदाना भ्रातृसुत नारायणी वैष्णव मंडल ध्वनि भ्रातृसूत्र नारायणी वैष्णव मंडल ध्वनि जार पुत्र वृंदावन दास जार पुत्र वृंदावन दास वर्णिया चैतन्य लीला त्रिभुवन योतरीला वर्णिया चैतन्य लीला त्रिभुवन योतरीला प्रेम दास करे जार आशा प्रेम दास करे जार आशा सप्तद्वीप दीप्ता कोरी शोभे नवद्वीप पुरी सप्तद्वीप दीप्ता कोरी शोभे नवद्वीप पुरी चाहे विश्वम्भर देवराज चाहे विश्वम्भर देवराज होता है तार भक्त जत ताहते शिवास ख्यात ताहे तार भक्त जत ताहते शिवास ख्यात श्री कृष्ण कीर्तन जार काज श्री कृष्ण कीर्तन जार काज जय अनिल प्रेम धन करुणा प्रचुर हेन प्रभु कोता गेला आचार्य ठाकुर हेन प्रभु कोता गेला श्रीवास ठाकुर कहाँ मोर स्वरूप रूपा कहाँ सनातन कहाँ दास रघो नाथ पतित पावन कहाँ मोर भट्ट जुग Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Jaya Sapashara, Jaya Gora Hare, Sapashara, Jaya Gora Hare, Jaya Sapashara, Jaya Gora Pandita, Jaya Śrīvāsa Pandita, Śrīvāsa Pandita, Jaya Śrīvāsa Pandita, Jaya Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, Jaya Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. हाँ जय ध्वनि করবেন जय श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधारी गिरिधारी श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय, श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जय, नितिल विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतनाम श्रील भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, नितिल विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतनाम श्रील भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय, नितिल विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतनाम श्रील भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, नितिल विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतनाम श्रील भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय, नितिल विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतनाम श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय, नितिल विष्णु महाभागवत श्रील गोक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय, नितिल विष्णु श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय, नितिल विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय, श्री रूपनु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय, श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय, श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंद आदि श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय, नाम अचय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय, सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय, श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय, श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जय, श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय, श्री भक्ति देवी की जय, श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय, श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय, श्रीवास ठाकुर की जय, श्रीवास ठाकुर तिरुभाव तिथि की जय, श्रीवास अंगन की जय, स्वाप्रसाद श्री गौर हरि की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवाय च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Dandava pranams. It looks like my internet connection cut out a bunch of times, and right now it's asking me to log in. So anyhow, I'm not able to see all your comments. I don't even know who's there. But anyhow, thank you for tolerating the cutting out, and thank you for joining this. Haribol. Jai Shivas Pandit ki Jai. Haribol. I hope it wasn't cutting out way too much. Anyhow, seems like 5 of you stuck through it all, so thank you. Haribol.